Manga spoilers, by the way. After the first game of the third selection between Team A with Rin, Shido, Isagi, Hiyori, and Nanase versus Team B with Karasu, Otoya, Chigiri, Saramadara, and Shiguma, with Team A taking the first win, we see Isagi and Nanase in the monitor room. While in this room, Isagi explains his final play to Nanase while watching the recording of the match, saying how first he feinted to the other side before stepping back and stealing behind Karasu, then sneaking into Otoya and Rin's blind spot. Nanase asks if Isagi had all that planned out ahead of time. Isagi answers saying that it's more like as he was thinking and moving, he was reacting to it all. And at the end, while avoiding the space between Rin and Shido, he broke free and shot through them. We then see Hiyori come to the room as he tells Isagi that he wasn't actually expecting him to score, saying how he made that pass thinking either Rin or Shido would pick it up. Hiyori also lets Isagi know that analyzing and reflecting his plays like this is a really important thing for him to do after a game. Isagi then asks Hiyori why he gave him that advice about thinking by reflex, saying he wouldn't have scored without that advice. Hiyori asks Isagi if he's into video games, with Isagi saying yeah, but the ones he usually plays are mainly football related. As Hiyori says that he's a huge gamer, he adds on saying that in a tile matching game like Tetris, you would start off slow, so you have time to plan your moves ahead. But by the end, those moves are way too fast, so you don't have time to think about it. And a play by speed is required to coexist with the likes of Rin and Shido is about as difficult as that. Hiyori goes on saying how the best gamers can process this info at high speed and are able to press buttons to get to their best course of action by reflex, saying how that could also be applied to football. Isagi understands this, as in that moment he could understand where everyone was, what they were planning, what weapon could he use at that moment, and where will the next pass come from, processing all of his abilities simultaneously at top speed. He was able to arrive at the shot point before anyone else. Hiyori says that it was due to the result of everything Isagi has built up until this point, and that it may look like Isagi got incredible out of nowhere, but in reality what he can do all came together in that moment, escalating his speed. Nanase then makes the analogy saying how it's not a new technique and that the software is still the same, but the hardware was upgraded. Hiyori then agrees to that analogy while making his own analogy, saying that it's as if your phone connection went from 4 gigs to 5. Isagi then thanks Hiyori and Nanase, saying how his last minute play only came into fruition because they were there to support him. And all the right conditions came together at that point. Nanase then admits, saying how he could only really catch up to Isagi in that match. As Isagi asks him for clarification, we see Nanase explain that Rin and Shido's movements felt as if they were from another dimension to him, so he couldn't really figure them out. But in Isagi's case, he felt like he could understand what he was going for. Isagi understands this and thanks Nanase for his help, as if it wasn't for him, his options wouldn't have nearly been increased the way that they were. Hiyori hops in, saying that since Isagi managed to score that goal, Nanase and him were able to show themselves off, saying they all did what they could. As all three of them congratulate one another on the tryouts, as now all they can do is wait for the results, we see Hiyori say it's about time as he turns on the TV, saying how the next match is about to start between Team A with Aryu, Igaguri, and Ishikari versus Team C with Yukimiya, Nagi, Gagamaru, Reo, and Tanaka. While preparing for the kickoff, Reo says to Nagi, telling him that he'd better watch him closely, with Nagi replying with sure, and with that, the match kicks off. As this match kicks off, Nagi passes the ball to Reo. We then see him internally monologuing as he says that after not being chosen by Nagi, he's become a bit stronger, saying how he has given up on everything he had to win. Also, he could reach him, but still, he's ahead of him. And that's why he's gonna prove it in this match that he's the only one who should play by his side, as he makes a 1-2 passing play to Nagi, getting past Shido. As Igaguri notices that Nagi and Reo are trading passes faster than before, we see Aryu say that he'll mark Reo, but it's already too late as Reo passes the ball to Nagi, saying how he knows better than anyone else that this is the place where Nagi wants the ball. As Nagi is going for it, saying it's a good pass, we then see Ishikari correct Nagi, saying how it's actually a pretty bad pass, as he easily intercepts the pass with his insane height, as he's known as the tallest high school player in Japan. As Rin gets this second ball, we see him dashing towards the goal, as Shido is in front of him telling him to pass. As Rin ignores him, we see Igaguri coming in, telling Rin to use him. And with a little bit of convincing, we see Rin actually pass to this bald monk. As Igaguri is excited to counter with the #1 ranked player in all of Blue Lock, we see Ryo in front of him in an attempt to stop Igaguri in his tracks. Igaguri tries to figure out who to pass to, either Rin or Shido, questioning which genius should he stick to. As he's trying to make a decision, Shido shouts at him, threatening to smash his head in, freaking Igaguri out, forcing a pass to him. As Shido gets past Gagamaru to get the pass, Gagamaru notices this, but calmly reacts as he barely reaches the ball with a scorpion kick. As Shido is impressed and Igaguri is questioning what kind of acrobatic defense that was, we see Gagamaru tumbling across the field as he says it's time for #5 to show off his skill. And with that, we enter Kenyu Yukimiya. As we see Yukimiya with the ball going toe-to-toe with Rin, we see him get past him using drag scissors. Ryo explains that drag scissors are a high-level technique where you shift the opponent's center of gravity while moving the ball, and Yukimiya did all that before suddenly breaking past Rin at top speed, noticing that he's explosively fast as he gets past Rin with ease. Yukimiya says that football's most basic form is a one-on-one, and if he can drag the situation to that, he could proudly say that he's the strongest in Japan. As Shido is interested in Yukimiya's playing style, we see him step up to the challenge to try and stop him. Ryo notices that despite how he looks, Yukimiya is a hardcore infighter type that relies on his physique and speed. As he's saying this, we see Yukimiya accept Shido's challenge as he makes quick work of Shido as well. If Bachira uses elastic dribbles that rely on technique and creativity to get through, then Yukimiya here uses more rigid dribbles that push past using power and speed. Putting it all together, that this is Blue Lock's #5, Yukimiya can use one-on-one Emperor style. As Igaguri and Ishikari try and attempt to sandwich Yukimiya, knowing that they can't win on a one-on-one, we see Ryo asking Yukimiya to use him. But, to his surprise, Yukimiya denies his request, as he says that it'll be more peaceful if he just scores this goal on his own. Ryo notes that the goal is about 30 meters away from him, questioning if he intends to shoot from there. But Ryo quickly doubts it, being that there's no opening for that. But right then and there, we see Yukimiya shoot the ball. As the ball seems like it's going a bit high, we see Igaguri mock Yukimiya for it. But Ryo notices that the ball is dropping sharply while moving to the outside, confirming that this is Yukimiya's gyro shot, as Yukimiya says that he's more of a pacifist. As Ryo notices what kind of monster #5 is and how the goalie won't reach it in time, we see Ryu coming from the side in an attempt to save the ball, as he declares that he has arrived. As Team A thinks that they're saved, we then see one more person that came up with Ryu, with that one player being Nagi Seishiro, as he hits an insane black hole trap to Yukimiya's shot with pinpoint accuracy. Yukimiya is a little taken away by the fact that Nagi trapped such a powerful shot of his, but is impressed. And with both Yukimiya's gyro shot and Nagi's super trap, we see Team C get their first goal of the match as Nagi shoots the ball. As Ryo is in shock, we see Nagi apologizing to Yukimiya for stealing his shot. As we transition to the next chapter, we see Ryo reflect on that play as he admits that he isn't capable of scoring a goal like the one Nagi did just now. From Yukimiya's dribbles and gyro shot and Nagi's decision to trap the ball after realizing the opponent would stop it, he realizes that they aren't linking up but rather bringing out each other's super plays onto the pitch. Yukimiya compliments Nagi on his black hole trap, but Nagi compliments Yukimiya back on his shot. As they dap each other up, Ryo knows that at the level that he's currently playing at, he'll never reach them, knowing that he's not enough to satisfy Nagi, noticing how it looks like he's having fun in this game right now, unlike back then when he looked so bored while receiving Ryo's passes all the time, saying how he's changed and that he's not the same Nagi from when he first met him. As we restart the match with Team A's ball with Shido passing the ball to Rin, we see Ryo going on saying how the top 6 are really in a class of their own, as they all are on a level that can't be achieved through effort and hard work alone, and that they all possess weapons that go above and beyond. As Rin performs some fast scissors on Ryo, he continues on saying in contrast to that, he's a balanced all-rounder without any special weapons, so no matter how much he improves the quality of his plays, all his max stats would be capped at 99. Asking himself with specs of his own, how can he beat the top 6? As Rin gets past Ryo, Igaguri tells him to use him again, but that's when Rin makes a pass to Ishikari, as he uses his overwhelming height to reach and header the ball. Ishikari then headers the ball to Aryu, getting through the field as they control the masses from above. And at the last point, Rin will deal with the final blow as he gets the first goal for Team A. Shido then presses Rin, saying how he's been aiming for places he wouldn't be able to reach, with Rin saying that he's just streamlining the field. As Ryo sees this, he reflects, being that all his life up until now he's gotten everything that he's wanted, but it's starting to look like there may be some things in this world that are out of his reach, like the World Championship, and being the best striker in the world. He then goes on saying how for guys like the top 6, there's nothing else they want in this world. But he then corrects himself, saying that's the only thing that could ever get them fired up. And because they're complete and utter idiots, it's the same reason why they're so radiant. But he's different, being that even if he loses in Blue Lock, he'll be able to live just fine, as he just inherited his parents' corporation. But to Ryo, it's all bullshit, being that even if he goes back there, all he'll find is boredom, and what he really wants is in there in Blue Lock, correcting himself once again, saying that what he wants only exists in the world of Blue Lock. And if his dream is something already bound to disappear miserably, then he'll throw it all away, becoming an idiot himself, as we restart the match with Ryo having the fire in his eyes to keep going. As Yukimiya is pushing upfield with the ball, Igaguri says that he won't let him pass, but Yukimiya makes quick work, getting past him with ease. As Igaguri apologizes, Rin says that it's good enough, as he manages to get the ball away from Yukimiya. Ryo manages to get the loose ball, but he says to himself that no matter how much he raises his stats, he can never pass his limit of 99%. Coming to the conclusion that with the talent of having the dexterity to constantly play at a high balance level, it's time to be brave and kick back into high gear, as he's trading passes with Nagi, making his way through the field. Ryo says that instead of being a jack of all trades, he'll be a master of all trades by using his stats of all 99 in order to contend with the top 6. As Nagi asks for the pass, that's when we see Ryo shooting the ball, as he says that he's not passing to Nagi anymore, and that just how Nagi changed since coming to Blue Lock, he'll also change into whatever color he needs to be as he shoots the ball. But everyone is surprised, being that that shot wasn't any ordinary shot, but it was actually Yukimiya's gyro shot. As Igaguri questions whether or not Ryo just copied Yukimiya's shot just now, we see Ryo with his tongue sticking out like a chameleon, that this'll be his new style, as he calls it the Chameleon, as he scores the second goal for Team C, almost perfectly replicating Yukimiya's gyro shot. As Isagi and the rest are watching from the monitor room, seeing this match unfold, Isagi comments on how amazing Ryo's goal was just now, saying how he made full use of his dexterity to copy Yukimiya's move, realizing that this is the conclusion Ryo arrived at in order to survive in Blue Lock. As Nanase asks if that would make Ryo an unbeatable player, Hiyori says it wouldn't, being that it's just copying, and that no matter how skillful you can copy something, you can only reproduce 99% of its potential at best, and that if he tries to copy someone strong enough to push past 100%, he wouldn't be able to win so easily, as Isagi agrees with him, and that when he copies something, it'll be a lesser version of the original. There's also things like speed and height and just physical attributes in general which he really just can't copy at all, and that he can't see him having any way to get past that, meaning that Ryo's new copy style is still an incomplete ability, as we see this game unfold with Rin scoring the game-winning shot for Team A. As Ryo is exhausted, we see him reflect that his new ability isn't something that he can win against the top 6 just yet, but he's definitely caught sight of the path he needs in order to take towards his evolution. Nagi approaches Ryo, saying how they ended up losing, but he says that his goal was pretty nice, and copying the weapon of a great player is such a Ryo thing to do with his dexterity, so it's pretty cool. But Ryo says it's not enough for the football he wants to play. Nagi then agrees with him, so Ryo tells Nagi not to bother with him, telling Nagi to keep waiting for him at the top, saying how he'll become someone he'll want to chase after, and that he won't rest until he gets what he wants in the end, ending off the second match of the third selection. Hey guys, DarkheroJosh here, and that was the second match of the third selection between Team A and Team C. This match was a big one in terms of showing off what Nagi can do since the, big 4v4 battle in the second selection, and what kind of player Kenyu Yukimiya is. And don't even get me started on how big of a match this was for Reo, as he finds his new Chameleon style to survive in the moving stages of Blue Lock. Now sadly, this is the last match we get to see in the third selection, but hopefully we get to see a little bit more of different matches, like for example between Team B and Team C in like the Nagi spin-off or something like that, but I don't know, hopefully. This match is honestly a pretty underrated one, and we can obviously see why that is, being that the next arc is the big U20 arc, debatably the best arc out right now in the series, I guess apart from the Neo Egoist League. But honestly, I feel like a lot of people are really sleeping on this arc, because this arc was actually a pretty good one in my opinion. But if you guys did enjoy the video, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below what other moments in Blue Lock should I talk about next on the channel. And without further ado, I hope you guys have a great day, and see ya.